If you live in India, you probably own an Android phone because Android powers 97% of India's smartphones. But if you're planning to buy an Android phone in the near future, there is some information out there that says your phone might get a little costlier. I'm Rukmini and I'm here to tell you why. Everyone who has bought an Android smartphone takes these apps for granted. We turn on the phone, we see the Google search bar, or there's the map application that I use all the time. So far, all Android phones were pre-installed with Google's 11 core applications. This was because all Android phone makers were a part of the Mobile Application Distribution Agreement or MADA, an international agreement between Google and original equipment manufacturers like phone manufacturers Samsung, Xiaomi and the rest. But in August 2022, Google got into trouble with the Competition Commission of India, and in January this year, the company announced that it will comply with the CCI's order. What was this order and why was it given? I'll come to that later. But what is this new information and how is it going to affect you, the customer? On February 19th, this Twitter tipster claimed to have access to a document that outlines how Google plans to comply with the CCI's charges. According to the tweet, Google is about to release a region-specific Indian Mobile Application Distribution Agreement or IMADA. Google has signed region-specific agreements with Europe, Turkey, Russia and Belarus. In order to sell phones in these regions, phone manufacturers have to comply with customized rules. But the tweet claims that this agreement with India will be the only one that gives phone makers a choice. That is what supposedly makes this announcement a game changer. This means that starting in April, a few of the phone makers could be a part of the MADA, while others could be a part of the IMADA. Phones released under the MADA will have pre-installed Google apps, and they can be sold in the international market. But phone makers could also choose to sign the IMADA, in which case only essential components, that is Play Store and Google Play services, will be pre-installed. IMADA phones can only be sold within the Indian market. Now, why is this going to make your phone more expensive? Well, right now, Google offers the Android software to phone makers at almost no cost. But April onwards, all phone makers will have to pay a licensing fee to use Android on their devices. And this licensing fee will translate to an increase in the final price of the phone. One of the most important features of the IMADA is that phone makers can choose to have any number of the core Google apps pre-installed on the phones. And Google will pay the phone maker a per app bounty to incentivize the pre-installation of its apps. All of this is under speculation, and we await an official notice from Google. Why was Google made to do this in the first place? Well, so far, Google has been in a one-sided agreement with all Indian Android phone makers, according to which phones will come pre-installed with 11 core Google apps. According to the Competition Act of 2002, no enterprise can enter into such an agreement when it adversely impacts the competition within the country. Recognizing this, in October 2022, the Competition Commission of India slapped Google with a fine of Rs 1,338 crores for violating the law. Google initially said that it will need to modify its existing contracts with over 1,100 phone makers and thousands of app developers. It also warned that such remedial measures might cause a major halt in the growth of the Android ecosystem. After multiple failed appeals to the Supreme Court, Google decided to comply. And we assume that this is the compromise at which they have arrived. While we wait for an official statement from Google, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all other social media channels. Log on to www.deccanherald.com for the latest developments on this story and all other action. Thanks for watching.